and Bill Hahn calling the balls and strikes. Jerry Davis will umpire at first base. Bob Davidson out at second base. And Angel Hernandez over at third base. Nice crowd on hand for this ball game. I mentioned it's hot and humid here at Shea Stadium, but it's great for the players' muscles. They're loose, they're relaxed, and the umpires call strikes. Players don't. Well, that fan's an optimist. Doesn't look good.
Well, the strike date has been called for the 12th of August. The Mets will be in Philadelphia playing the Philadelphia Phillies, ending that series on the 11th. They're scheduled to go to Montreal. They've had 2 meetings in the last 2 days, and so far the progress report is no progress.
Too bad. Well, hopefully things will work out. Dallas Green is hoping for them. At one time, Dallas Green was a player rep. And John Franco, by the way, received an award prior to tonight's ball game from Rolaids. The announcement made here tonight. Rolaids giving him an award for his 253 save. He put him ahead of Dave Righetti on the left-handers all-time list. Say more about that, but we're set to go here. Bobby Jones pitching to Roberto Kelly. And Kelly takes a strike from Bobby Jones. Kelly batting .298, home runs, 41 RBIs.
Kelly missed yesterday's ball game because of a pulled back muscle.
As he takes the curveball.
Back in action. Since he came over to Atlanta, he's hit .281 with 5 home runs of his 8.
And the 1-1 pitch to Roberto Kelly. The breaking ball misses outside again. 2-1. Kelly, as Ralph mentioned, traded for Deion Sanders. Braves traded Deion Sanders because he wouldn't cooperate off the field more so than on the field. As the ball's put in play, Kent gloves it over to Bronya, 1 down.
If they have a player strike, Deion Sanders has said he will not go to football. Of course, football not ready to open up their gates for their next season. And Deion Sanders said he would not, if there is a strike, play football. Of course, you can't really put too much weight in that statement.
You're looking at Jeff Blauser, who's batting .256. He hits a fastball into left field. A base hit off the bat of the Braves shortstop. So Jeff Blauser on first base, and 1 man out here in the first. The batter will be Ryan Klesko. Quite an offensive player. 17 home runs, 46 RBIs. Klesko this year struggling as left fielder. He's a first baseman by trade.
That's the wrong position to play if you're in the Atlanta Braves organization when they have Fred McGriff there.
There goes Blauser, and Klesko fouls the ball off, 0-1. Klesko, he's been up and down all year. In July, he struggled, batting .132.
He's still struggling. He's only had 5 hits in his last 41 at-bats.
But you're going to give him some more time in August, or I guess maybe not, only 12 days.
Haven't got many days left.
And the 0-1 pitch as they run Blauser back to first base. A lot of teams were after Klesko last year. In fact, the Padres wanted him in the McGriff trade. He takes the curveball up high, 1-1. Klesko's a big guy, 6'3", 220. 22 years old.
He's 4 for 7 off of Bobby Jones this year.
Fouls the fastball back again, so it's 1-2. Last year in Richmond, he hit 22 home runs and drove in 74 runs in 343 plate appearances. Talking about Ryan Klesko. Bobby Jones shaking off Kelly Stinnett. And he checks the runner at first base. Blauser back. After the 93 season, Klesko was named the #4 prospect in the International League by Baseball America. 1-2. The pitch from Bobby Jones. One hopper. 4-6-3. Pitches to light. The Mets turn the double play, and that'll do it for the Braves here in the first inning. They fail to score on the Modell scoreboard. We played a half inning here at Shea. No score. The Mets and the Braves. Well, back here at Shea Stadium, and the Mets coming to bat. Mets lineup is brought to you by Continental Airlines. Tim Bogart will lead it off. He'll be followed by Kelly Stinnett and then Jeremy Burnitz. The middle three, Bobby Bowe, Jeff Kent, and David Segui. The bottom three, Rico Brogna, Ryan Thompson, and Bobby Jones. And Bogart takes down low from the southpaw Steve Avery, ball one. A 1-0 pitch, down low with the heater. 2-0. Fastball misses up high. 3-0. Avery hasn't been his consistent self on the hill this year. And the 3-0 pitch. There's a strike for the fastball. His wife Heather gave birth to a premature baby, and he's been traveling back and forth to Michigan.
He's 7-3 this year. Last year he was 18-6.
The pitch is ball 4 to Tim Bogart.
One of the things that he's had this year, even though he's only won 7 games, he's had tremendous run support. Braves have scored 5.9 runs per game when he's been on the mound. And today's starting pitcher is Steve Avery, and his stats brought to you by Shell, the best-selling gasoline in the world. Lifetime 57-39, lifetime against the Mets 4-3, and an earned run average this year of 4.44, although the opposition hitting only .234 against him.
Avery checks Bogart first base. Kelly Stinnett, the batter. He's batting .267, 2 home runs, 13 RBIs.
One thing about base runners for the Mets, they don't steal much, but they better not try against Avery. He led the National League in pickoffs last year with 15.
He throws a fastball to Stinnett. Strike one, so 0-1 on the Met catcher. The Braves are 4.5 games out of first place.
But they got nothing to worry about. They are the wild card team. If the season ends on the 11th, they're going to be in the wild card position and play in the playoffs, if there are playoffs.
And the 0-1 pitch, Stinnett goes the other way, but foul. 0-2. Montreal Expos leading the division with a 67-38 record. Kenny Hill with his 15th victory in last night's game for the Expos. The Mets in third place, 16 games back.
Braves lead in the wild card race by 3.5 games.
And the 0-2 pitch. Nice pick by Charlie O'Brien. We've seen him flip the first base many times in the past, and he does it right there, but Bogart safe. Charlie O'Brien, we've seen him here at Shea Stadium as a member of the Met Ball Club, and he's a fine defensive catcher. Once again, Avery with that quick flip. Bogart back. Talked about Avery a moment ago. Leo Mazzoni, his pitching coach, feels that traveling back and forth to visit his wife, baby in Michigan, hurt him in any way. It was not throwing between starts as consistently as he has in the past. He misses up high there, 2-2. But family comes first.
Well, the Braves believe in their pitchers making a lot of throws between starts. And they have certainly been successful with that philosophy. They're tied for first in earned run average in the National League.
2-2 pitch up high with a fastball, 3-2. Steve Avery just dominated schoolboy baseball in Michigan.
Right here, Bogart's in a position to be running with the pitch, and you can't get picked off on a 3-2 count when you're running on a 3-2 count.
Bogart gets back.
Last thing the first base coach tells you is make him throw home before you go. Frank Howard's birthday today, 58 years of age.
Frank looks great, doesn't he? 3-2 pitch. There goes Bogart. Line drive, base hit in the center field. Bogart will get to third base, and the Mets have runners on first and third here in the first with nobody out.
Well, the runner going on the pitch, and there was a fastball right in there to hit hard, and Stinnett hit it hard through the middle, and enabled Bogart to go first to third on the base hit. So the Mets in a good position right here as they start this inning.
So runners on the corners, and Jeremy Burnett, who's been hot since being recalled from the minor leagues, will be the batter.
Hitting .286 since being brought back up. He came up on July 22nd.
He was 0 for 4 last night, and he swings through a fastball. Strike one.
0 for 4 last night with 3 strikeouts against the left-hand pitcher.
He's told Dallas Green he can hit left-handers, so Dallas says, show me. He's batting third tonight.
As runners in scoring position, he's hitting .182, so he's got a long way to go.
Foul the ball off, 0-2. Bogart leading off third. Stinnett off first. The 0-2 pitch. Misses outside. 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch. Popped up in the infield. Limke calling for it. And makes the play, 1 down. Big out.
Third baseman, number 25, Bobby Bonilla.
So with one man gone, one of the stars in last night's game, Bobby Bonilla, will be the batter. He was 2 for 4 last night. He's batting .296, 20 home runs, 62 RBIs.
He donates $1,000 a home run to SIDS, his favorite charity. He's donated $20,000 this year to SIDS.
Swings through the fastball, 0-1. We talked about the presentation on the field before the ball game. Rolaids presenting an award to John Franco for taking the lead in the saves category for left-handers all time. He passed Dave Righetti a few weeks ago. Down low and blocked by Charlie O'Brien. Bogart holds his ground at third. You mentioned Bobby Bo giving the money to SIDS. Well, Rolaids is going to match the money that John Franco gives to the Leukemia Society. They made that announcement today here at Shea Stadium. And the 1-1 pitch is outside. 2-1.
Bonilla has been very proficient with runners in scoring position, hitting .372 this year. That stops on the Mets club. One of the things that has really added up against him is the 96 strikeouts he had.
And he hits a ground ball to third. This is worse than a strikeout. Double play. 5-4-3. Braves are out of it. Mets strand the runner. On the Modell scoreboard, we've played one. No score here at Shea. Fred McGriff leads it off for the Braves as we go to the top of the second inning. He'll be followed by Dave Justice and then Terry Pendleton. McGriff once again with a fine season, batting .305, 28 home runs, 82 RBIs. And he takes a fastball down low, 1-0.
Another 9-game hitting streak stopped last night when he went 0 for 4, his longest hitting streak this year.
Takes down low again, 2-0. He needs 2 RBIs for his 700th in his career. And the 2-0 pitch. It's a long drive to left center field. Segui back at the wall and makes the grab. One down. So one man gone. The batter will be Dave Justice. Justice ranking third in the National League with a .437 on-base percentage. And you see his glamour stats, .320 in the average department. He's driven in 53 runs, and he has 16 home runs. First pitch is a fastball off the plate outside, 1-0. I mentioned those glamour departments. They're glamour departments because you never hear of anybody walking down the street and they say, there goes the guy that leads the league in walks. Or there goes the guy that leads the league in runs. And he cues this ball to Bobby Bowe. Over to Bronya, 2 down.
Well, this is the ground ball to third base. A Bonilla hit. We were talking about his 97 strikeouts. And Fran said this is worse than striking out. And it recalls what Dick Stewart said. He said he should have gotten the Most Valuable Player award when he played for Boston because he hit into so many double plays. He said, I mean, he struck out so many times. He said, that way I don't hit into double plays. Well, that is worse than a strikeout when you hit into a double play.
In that case, it was, as you look at Terry Pendleton. And Pendleton takes a fastball outside, 1-0. He's batting .248, 6 home runs, 24 RBIs.
Good series. He's 4 for 8 in this series. But he is having a bad year, and the speculation is he will not be with the Atlanta Braves next year. This is his walk year. And Atlanta, because of his high salary, might just say, take a walk.
He's got a 1-1 count right now.
They have a player named Chipper Jones, who's an outstanding prospect, sitting in the wings. He's with the ball club right now, but he's missed all the action of the season. He was hurt in spring training.
Hurt his leg when he ran it down the first baseline against the Yankees in spring training. Hit first base. Needed reconstructive surgery on his leg. Here's a 2-1 pitch to Pendleton, down low. 3-1. Ironically, it was Blauser whose position was in jeopardy with Chipper Jones because he was a shortstop. They were thinking of moving Blauser, trading him, or moving him to another position. Here's a drive to right field. Burnett's going back, off the wall. He's got a strong arm to throw to second, off line. So Pendleton doubling off the right field wall. Looked like Burnett might have misjudged that ball.
Now he got turned around out there. Don't know if he could have caught it or not. It was hit very hard. But he did have a lot of difficulty in going back for the ball. You see him get twisted up here. He looks over the right shoulder, then the left, and then decides he has no chance. I don't think he could have caught that ball anyway. Made a bad throw in, and he had a shot at Pendleton. Good shot at throwing him out at second, trying to go for the double.
So a double for Terry Pendleton. The batter now, Charlie O'Brien, batting .255, 8 home runs, 28 RBIs. He's done a fine job for the Braves this year. And he takes a strike. He's got a lot of key hits.
8 home runs, a career high for him.
Braves are very high on him. Of course, he works the pitchers very well. He's backing up a fine young catcher, Javier Lopez. Pendleton leading off second. And the 0-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball, and it's called a ball, but Bill Hahn faked me out. Looked like he was coming up for a strike call.
He had it going, but the last minute he decided, no, I better keep my arm down. Maybe he needs deodorant.
No score here at Shea. The Braves and the Mets. The breaking ball misses outside. 2-1. Last night, O'Brien did not catch. Javier Lopez caught. He was 1 for 3 in the ball game. Charlie O'Brien was with the Mets, Doc Gooden pitched a lot to Charlie O'Brien. He liked the way he called the game, the way he caught the game.
Made the cover of Sports Illustrated this year. Cangelosi charging the mound against John Smoltz after Smoltz hit Cangelosi in the back, and O'Brien following Cangelosi out. When they were on the ground, O'Brien was caught by Sports Illustrated pounding on Cangelosi.
You just can't be pounding people when they're not looking, can you?
He was trapped on the front cover of Sports Illustrated. The evidence was all there.
And a 3-1 pitch. Fastball misses outside. Ball 4. So the Braves have runners on first and second here in the top of the second inning with 2 men out. And Mark Lemke will be the batter.
Lemke about as underrated as you can get playing for a team that has been the National League champions. He's had some great playoff games. Good little ball player. Hitting .294. He's 1 for 6 in this series.
He needs 1 run to score for his 200th of his career. He has 3 home runs, 31 RBIs. He bats 8th all the time. Up high, 1-0. Bobby Cox feels he's the best second baseman in the National League.
Defensively, he's only made 3 errors this year. He's a grinder.
Yes, he is. Well, you can get lost in a ball club like the Braves with all these marquee names. 1-0 pitch, and Lemke fouls the ball out of play. Lemke really shouldn't see this, Bobby Cox. Lemke shouldn't see real good pitches here with the batter up next, although Avery has been known to hit the ball with authority. Remember him going 4 for 4 here at Shea Stadium a couple years ago. And the 1-1 pitch is down low. 2-1. Bobby Jones looks like he's a little bit upset because it's taking so much time between him and Kelly Smith to get the signs going. Some pitchers will grow impatient if you're off the mark on a lot of the calling of the pitches during the course of the game. It slows you down. 2-1 pitch. Ground ball to second base. Kent over to Bronya, and that'll do it for the Braves here in the second inning. They strand 2. They fail to score on the Sherwin-Williams scoreboard. No score here at Shea. The Braves and the Mets.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you in part by Converse Run and Slam, the basketball shoe built for impact players like Kevin Johnson.
There's the line score as we go to the bottom of the second inning here at Shea Stadium. Jeff Kent will lead it off. No score, the Braves and the Mets. And a reminder, folks, this break in the action ought to be a great time to break open the great taste of a Bud Light. It's a big hit with fans everywhere. It won't fill you up, and it never lets you down. So make it a Bud Light. Avery's first pitch, a breaking ball, misses outside to Jeff Kent. 1-0.
Kent drove in the winning run of last night's ball game in the bottom of the 8th inning, breaking a 1-1 tie, and then Bronya followed with a 2-run home run.
Kent takes the fastball down low. 2-0. Kent is batting .284, 14 home runs, 62 RBIs.
And at Shea Stadium hitting .316 with 10 of his 14 home runs here.
He hits the ball off the end of the bat to deep left field. Klesko in pursuit makes the grab on the warning track. Just missed it.
And when you say he just missed it by hitting the ball near the end of the bat rather than on the so-called sweet spot. If he'd hit that ball about 2 inches closer to the trademark, it would have been out of here.
Boy, Kent got off to a torrid start in the RBI and home run departments and batting average. I think a little bit of what happened to him was people asking him if he was going to hit 120 home runs. He started thinking about it.
He didn't want to talk about it. He said he didn't want to jinx himself, and that's one of the things about playing in New York. I mean, you have everybody interviewing you about how come you're hitting so well, and it plays on your mind.
It really does. David Segui now 1-0 from Avery, and he hits a line drive into right field. Justice getting the ball back in, and Segui with the second hit of the ball game for the Mets.
Segui just hitting 193 as a right-hand batter. Right here, he turns it around in a hurry.
And here is a hot man with a bat. 11-game hitting streak. And he is quickly becoming a favorite here at Shea Stadium. Rico Brogna. He swings at a breaking ball, 0-1. He's batting .387, 7 home runs, 18 RBIs.
Here's what he did last night in the 8th inning. Off of Bedrosian, and he takes it downtown. Well hit ball. 3 hits in the game last night.
And the 0-1 pitch. Fouls it off. 0-2. The sign of respect on a home run is when the outfielder doesn't move. Justice moved just a moment as you see the sign for Rico. 0-2 on Rico Brogna. And the 0-2 pitch. Swung and missed. Strike 3, so Brogna goes down swinging. 2 out.
One thing about when you play the outfield and somebody really cranks one out and you don't even turn around to look at it, it looks great, but don't ever make the mistake that it doesn't go out.
Well, I'll tell you, in the one Brogna hit last night, you can see Justice turn. That wasn't the ultimate in respect. The ultimate is when the outfielder stands there and watches it go over his head.
And does not look, just watches it right over the top.
They check. Segui at first base. Ryan Thompson with those 18 home runs and 59 RBIs. His batting average, I'm sure, bothering him. Only .231.
Well, the worst part of his batting average is he's not hitting at all here at Shea Stadium.
0 for 3 last night.
At Shea, he's hitting 139. On the road, he's hitting 311.
And he takes down low. 1-0.
If you take away his strikeouts, he's hitting 321. He has 87 strikeouts.
There are the stats right there. And the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball left side. And Blauser gets the force at second base. So Thompson, who would have had an infield hit, is 0 for 1 tonight. Mets strand the runner. They fail to score. We've played 2 here at Shea, and on the Modell scoreboard, Braves nothing, Mets nothing. Back here at Shea Stadium, we go to the top of the 3rd inning. Steve Avery leads it off for the Braves, and he gets jammed, and Ryan Thompson comes in and makes a fine play. So Ryan Thompson taking a base hit away from Steve Avery.
Well, Ryan Thompson, an outstanding defensive ball player. He can do it all in center field. Might have been a little deep for the pitcher, but he made up for it by making the diving catch. Ryan early in the year played a much shallower center field. He's deepened up a little bit.
Batter now, Roberto Kelly. He grounded out his first time up. First pitch to Kelly's a fastball up high, 1-0. Last inning we saw Bobby Jones get a little bit unnerved looking in at the signs. Pitchers like you to work quickly behind the plate as Roberto Kelly fouls the ball off and pretty much be in sync with them. If they have to shake you off quite a bit, they become frustrated. This guy is a thinking man's pitcher.
Fresno, California, went to the same high school as Tom Seaver. They taught thinking in that course in high school.
1-1 pitch, and Roberto Kelly is unable to check his swing. 1-2. Bobby Jones's dad told him at a very young age, you will not be a strikeout pitcher. You have to change speeds, work the corners, throw strikes. But he, in the past, in the minor leagues, has been a strikeout pitcher.
But he has a good curveball. There it is.
And Kelly fouls it off. So Dad gave him good advice, throw strikes, but he was wrong in that he wouldn't be a strikeout pitcher.
If you got a good curveball in the minor leagues, you're going to strike a lot of batters out because kids that come to the minor leagues are fastball hitters. They don't know much about curveballs.
You can see he loves pitching a road. 7-1. Kelly drives the ball to center field. Here comes Thompson again and makes the grab.
Shortstop, Jeff Blauser.
Well, the Braves better try some other outfielder. Another good play by Thompson on a well-hit ball. And Thompson now with the 2 putouts in this inning on good play.
And the batter now, Jeff Blauser. Blauser batting .258 so far this season. He's 1 for 1 tonight. He singled into left field his first time up. Takes down low. 1-0. Last season, he batted over 300. He hit .305. He hit 15 home runs last year and drove in 73 runs. So when Chipper Jones came up from Richmond, they said, Chipper, can you play third base? The 1-0 pitch. Up high. 2-0. Now, some baseball people would feel that was the time to trade Blauser.
He had his best year in his career in the major leagues last year. And if your name is Branch Rickey, that's when you trade everybody.
And a 2-0 pitch. The breaking ball misses up high. 3-0.
Rickey's philosophy was it's better to trade a player a year or two too soon than a year too late.
But Branch Rickey was a guy who got paid when he traded players.
Yeah, well, that's one reason why he traded everybody. He got a piece of the action.
3-0 pitch. Inside, ball 4. So Blauser walks. See where Bobby Jones, he didn't like that ball. He said, there's 4 balls. Get rid of it. Let's change the baseball.
The fielder.
So Jeff Blauser's on first base, and the batter now will be Ryan Klesko. Klesko hit into a 4-6-3 double play his first time up, but that's deceiving. He smoked the ball.
He almost took the glove right off of Kent's hand with that line shot. Kent was very fortunate to come up with it, and then he turned it into the double play.
Klesko and McGriff have similar follow-throughs when they swing the bat.
Well, with McGriff, it's a home run trot. Klesko hadn't got to that point yet.
Not yet. 2-men are out. Jones's first pitch, another hard hit. How about that play? Kent gets Klesko at first base. He's got to say something to Jeff Kent, doesn't he? He took another hit away from him. Braves strand a runner on the Modell scoreboard. We played 2.5, no score. The Braves and the Mets. Oh, we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning here at Shea Stadium. The Braves and the Mets no score. 2 hits for each ball club. And the batter will be Bobby Jones. Jones will be followed by Tim Bogar and then Kelly Stinnett. And Jones picks up a base hit. Remember when you were a kid, they would say, meet the ball? Well, he met the ball. Didn't overswing.
Shortstop, Tim Bogar.
Tim Bogar looking down at Mike Cummings for a sign. Bobby Jones just made hitting looking.
That's his 5th hit this year and his 6th in his major league career. Came into the game hitting .095, but if you don't put the bat in the ball, you can't get a hit.
Up high to Bogart, ball 1. That's exactly what he did. He put the bat on the ball. He placed the bat on the ball. Cummings flashing signs to Jones and Bogart.
Bogart 1 for 3 last night. His third game start at shortstop, and tonight's his fourth game start at shortstop. And tonight is his 10th game as a starting player this year.
It's been a tough year injury-wise for Bogart. And the 2-0 pitch. Down low, 3-0.
Bobby Jones doesn't have to worry about getting picked off at first as McGriff is playing off the bag.
There's a strike. And the 3-1 pitch. Hard hit ball on the left field. A base hit for Bogart. So the Mets have runners on first and second. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third.
That's exactly what happens when you get behind in the count. You have to come in with that fastball most of the time. Twice in this game he's had to come in with a fastball with a count of 3-2 and a count of 3-1. And twice the Mets have had base hits.
And Kelly Stinnett, who's 1 for 1 in his ball game, will step in to face Steve Avery.
He came through with a base hit on a hit-and-run play in a full count. And he got the fastball and single, and Bogart, who had walked in the first inning, ended up at third but was left there.
Jones on second base. And a
Hey,
balk
balk.
is called on Avery.
Boy, you don't see that happen. A balk on with a runner on second base. That's about one time in a million.
He said he has to break with the rubber.
Guess who called it? Bob Davidson, who calls more balks than any umpire in baseball.
Well, Bobby Cox going out to discuss this with Bob Davidson. They call him Bob Balk Davidson. Almost looked like Avery tripped over the rubber.
Well, they say you can't balk with a runner on second base, but boy, he did here. Take a look at it on the replay. Well,
He said he moved towards first.
I guess he might hit. So you're right. It looked like he got his foot caught in the pitching rubber.
It looked like he got his foot caught in the pitching rubber. The balk is you have to be trying to deceive the runner. Now watch Bob Davidson. It looks like he says Avery did something towards first. Avery's talking about the rubber. He got his foot caught. Davidson is moving the runners along.
Could be a big break in this game.
Oh,
He calls more balks than anybody in the National League. There's no doubt about it. He's got the record.
so runners are on second and third with nobody out here in the bottom of the third. No score. Stinnett puts the ball in play. Mets will pick up a run. They get Stinnett at first base on the throw from Pendleton. But it's 1-0 Mets, and they have another runner on third.
Right fielder, Jeremy Burnett.
So Tim Bogart on third base. One man gone. Bobby Jones scoring the run. The infield will play in for Jeremy Burnett. Burnett's his first time up, popped to second base. Was 0 for 4 last night, struck out 3 times against the left-hander.
That pop-up was a costly one. Runners were at first and third with nobody out. Mets did not score in the end.
Burnett takes a ball, 1-0. After Burnett's popped up, and Bobby Bonilla hit into a 5-4-3 double play back in the first inning. 1-0 here in the bottom of the third in favor of the Mets. Burnett takes a curveball for a strike, 1-1. This is the rubber game of the 3-game series. And the 1-1 pitch. Strike 2, 1-2. Avery pitching from the stretch. keeping the runner close at third. Power pitcher pitching from the stretch. 1-2 pitch. And it pops it up again. This one's in foul territory. Pendleton under it and makes the grab. 2 down. So with 2 men down here in the 3rd inning, runner on 3rd base. Steve Avery will take on Bobby Bonilla. And the fastball misses outside, 1-0.
Bonilla against Avery has had 7 hits and 28 at-bats. 2 of the 7 hits have been home runs.
And the 1-0 pitch, he fouls it off the end of the bat. 1-1. One of the reasons Bobby kicks that leg up is to keep himself from lunging. Right there, he lunged.
When you pick that leg up, you got to time it so you get it back down. It's got to come down on the ground when you hit. It does keep you back to some degree, and a couple of good hitters have used that leg kick. Mel Ott was the first one to come to mind.
Both fouls. 1-1.
Mel Ott with 511 home runs in his major league career, came to the major leagues at the age of 16, one of the great hitters that ever played this game, and he used to talk that front leg up. He was a left-hand batter. And the great home run hitter from Japan, Sadahara Oh, who hit more home runs than anybody in professional baseball, 860, I believe it was the man who picked up that leg.
Bogart leading off 3rd. Bonilla hits the ball hard. Linsky plays the high hop and gets him at first. So scored 4-3. But the Mets score a run here in the bottom of the 3rd. We played 3 here at Shea. And on the Modell scoreboard, it's 1-0 Mets. Well, top of the 4th inning here at Shea Stadium. 1-0 Mets on top of the Braves. And the Brownies have arrived in the booth. Fred and Rudy Wilpon sending the Brownies over. Now sliding in with the play-by-play. Rusty Stack.
Thanks, Francis. It'll be Fred McGriff. Mets ahead, as Fran said, 1-0. 2 hits for the Braves, 4 hits for the Mets. Negative 3 hits for the Braves. McGriff reached down and slashed that ball right back through the middle.
That must be a great experience as a pitcher when you throw a fastball and the guy hits it harder than you threw it and it's coming right back at you. What an experience.
I'm glad I didn't have that experience too much. I pitched when I was in Little League and stuff like that, like most of us did. We all had good arms, so we pitched, but I'll tell you what, some of those balls going back through the box, my word.
And you're facing some of the strongest people in baseball.
That's why the even mere thought of aluminum bats cannot exist in the big leagues. So McGriff at first, Justice at the plate. McGriff does have 6 stolen bases in 9 attempts. So Bobby Jones keeping him honest.
Fred McGriff signed with the Yankees, ended up with the Blue Jays, traded to the Padres, then traded to the Braves.
That means that although he didn't get much of a chance to play in New York, he has hit 30 home runs with 3 different clubs.
Not only that, but when that happens in the past, you think of a guy like Richie Allen, organizations used to get down on him because of his work ethic or personality. McGriff is a good guy.
Yes, he is. That ball misses. I don't think any of the trades really hurt him. He adjusted well to him. Now getting a chance to play for a franchise that's fighting for a pennant all the time is great for him.
Well, he was with the Blue Jays, traded to the Padres. Of course, that might have hurt him because he felt like he belonged in Toronto.
Line shot to center. Thompson going back. He's there. Ball kind of drifts on him a little bit. He reaches over. He has it. McGriff returns to first. So we have 1 out. And Terry Pendleton coming to the plate.
When McGriff was traded from Toronto, in fact, he was traded. Joe McIlvaine made the trade, bringing him to the San Diego Padres. Joe Carter went up to Toronto. It was a good trade for both ball clubs. The only problem is the Padres then sold the club and decided to go out and get rid of everybody, and McGriff was one of the first to go. Unfortunately for the Padres.
And their fans.
Yes.
Their fans more than anything. Pendleton has a double in the ball game. Short lead by McGriff at first. Kelly Stinnett giving the signs. And Bobby Jones throws a strike. Pendleton coming to that time in his career where it's going to take a lot more discipline to maintain it. Ground ball, good chance for a double play. 6-4-3 and get Pendleton. There's been some double plays in this game. That's the third one. After 3.5 innings on the Modell scoreboard, Mets ahead of the Braves, 1-0.
Hey kids, the Mets said nobody beats the Whiz. Invite you to be a part of the Dynamets Dash on Sunday, August 7th, weather permitting. You can run the bases after the Mets-Marlins game. For ticket information, call 718-507-TIXX during business hours. A per-ticket service charge applies, and be sure to ask about the new theme park now open, Nickelodeon Extreme Baseball at Shea.
Fans Mets Umbrella Night, originally scheduled for this Saturday, has been replaced with a Fans Choice promotion. All fans ages 15 and over attending the 8:05 Mets Marlins game can choose a '69 Mets cap, a beach towel, a sports bag, a Brooklyn Dodgers cap, or a New York Giants cap while supplies last. For all ticket information, call 718-507-TIXX during business hours. A per-ticket service charge applies. So as Jeff Kent comes to lead off the fourth inning for the Mets, we'd also like to remind you that day in and day out at home or on the road, you can always count on the great taste of Bud Light. It won't fill you up, and it never lets you down. So make it a Bud Light. Kent in his first at bat, slide deep to left field on the warning track. Facing Avery. Strike one call. Steve Avery, 7 wins on the season. Is that hard to believe or what?
It really is. Of course, as we mentioned it earlier, he's having some problems at home. He and his wife Heather had a premature baby, and he's been flying back and forth to Michigan. Leo Mazzoni, who you interviewed before the game, said that he felt the traveling hurt him
Grounded foul.
because he was not able to get his throwing in between starts.
Well, life takes precedent over everything sometimes.
Absolutely. Family's most important
As Leo
thing.
rocking away.
Big Notre Dame fan right there. When we were down in Atlanta, Lou Holt was his guest at a Braves game, the Braves and the Mets.
Now ball and 2 strikes to Jeff Kent. Kent, 62 RBIs on the season. Ball lined into the seats down the right field line. Still 1-2.
Well, on the pregame show today, Jeff's wife Dana and Tim Bogar's wife Karen joined us to talk about the live auction
For leukemia,
for
right?
Leukemia Society.
Kent stays alive, fights that pitch off.
Hey, they get some great memorabilia, so if you're into the memorabilia craze, get out to Shea Stadium for the auction.
Avery is all set to deliver. Hard fastball up and in. That auction is this Saturday during the Marlins 3-game set here at Shea. Fastball way outside. We have a full count.
Marvelous cause. You'll help the Leukemia Society. Should be a great night here at Shea Stadium. So that's the New York Mets live auction.
Ken again. It's a little piece of that pitch. it into the stands.
Some of the stuff that you'll be able to purchase here at Shea Stadium.
Signed autograph, Bobby Bowe. All kinds of stuff. I can't read. Can you read that?
No.
That was Mike Piazza was the bat. Go ahead, somebody can read. Fouled straight back. He's got, looks like he should have been a doctor instead of a catcher with that signature, didn't he? So this is a fine at bat for Jeff Kent. He and Avery in a heck of a battle here. Bottom of the 4th inning. Mets leading by 1. Again, another foul out of play. Mets and the Braves splitting the first 2 games of this series. As Francis says, the rubber match tonight. Ground ball to third base. Pendleton playing very deep. Long throw. 1 down. You know, there was some great times in baseball, and sometimes you can isolate on a photograph. And Francis Xavier Healy, that is the first game that Willie Mays ever played here at Shea Stadium.
And I called that home run. I was proud of it. Look at that ball go.
Look at that young whippersnapper right there, boy.
And by the way, folks, in that same game, a hit that was forgotten was by my colleague. He hit a grand slam in that same game.
It was in the first inning, and I didn't forget it at all. And you know I've never forgot that. Ball 1 to David Segui. Little chopper. Avery can't get it. Blauser just gets him. Good play.
That was a good play by Jeff Blauser. A couple tests for shortstops. If you can't do it, a couple plays, you will not be a shortstop. One is going to your right in the hole. The other one is charging the ball. 2 different throws. When you go to your right in the hole, it's a long arm throw. When you charge the ball, it's a short arm throw by a shortstop.
Rico Brogna at the plate. Swing and a miss at a good curveball.
A lot of youngsters come into pro ball as shortstops because they fail those 2 tests. If they can hit, they become a third baseman.
Again, a swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Brogna really trying to pull Avery. Has not met with much success. He struck out his first time up. Avery has fed him hard breaking pitches all the way down the line, and then every once in a while wastes a fastball. He didn't waste that curveball. Gets Brogna for the 2nd time. Only his 2nd strikeout in this game. Both of them Brogna. On a Modell scoreboard after 4, it's still 1-0 Mets. Charlie O'Brien leads off the 5th inning. Bobby Jones delivers his first pitch. It's out of the strike zone for ball 1. O'Brien walked in his first at bat. And you see 232 games with the Mets in 4 seasons.
He receives the ball, catches the ball as well as anybody in baseball. He has soft hands. He can throw. He throws very well also as a catcher.
Ground ball. Jones snags it. 1 down. Fans, listen to WCBS FM 101.1, New York's oldies station. Tomorrow morning at 6:45 during the Sports Report with Phil Pepe, you'll have a chance to play Mets trivia and win 4 tickets to an upcoming Mets game.
By the way, Rusty, a big Mets fan in the Stony Brook University Hospital. We want to send best wishes to Tom Fennell. All his friends on Bell Boulevard said that he'll be out in a hurry, but he's a huge Mets fan. Get well.
My wishes are with yours. Curve ball to Mark Lemke. Lemke grounded to second his first time up. Strike called by Phil Hahn behind the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Then they're protecting a little bit against the bunt at third. Everybody else deep around the infield. Lemke came into this game hitting .294 as a left-hander, .294 as a right-hander. That covered all of it. In the hole and by a diving Jeff Kent. He couldn't have placed that better. He had a chance to throw it. Just out of the reach of Bronya, just out of the reach of Kent. A one-out single.
Hit them where they ain't. And it was a perfectly placed base hit into right field. So Mark Lemke getting his first hit of the game.
It brings up Avery in a bunting situation. Bronya will charge from first. Bonilla already in on the grass. Important for the outfielders to always back up the bases on these bunt plays. Can stop a runner from going an extra 90 feet. Avery turning early, really facing the pitcher. A lot of people do not like that theory of bunting because if you throw the ball kind of inside, a lot of times you can't get out of the way easily. Not only can you get hit by the pitch, but you'll pop it up. This ball way outside. He really deadened it, but he deadened it in foul territory. That doesn't count.
He's squaring around just like he's in the batting cage. A lot of guys bunting the ball don't turn their body completely around, but Steve Avery is doing that.
There used to be a philosophy. Teams taught it that if a guy turned around and bunted like that, you've got to throw a hard strike inside at the letters. They'll be flying out of the place. They'll be trying to bunt it. They'll be popping it up. Boy, he is very vulnerable. He's not giving it away at all, though, is he?
No.
He turned around about 5 minutes before he...
Right now, Jimmy Williams, the third base coach, is flashing new signs to Avery. Are they taking the bunt off?
Only 5 hits in 45 at-bats for Avery, so he's not a really good butcher boy guy. It doesn't mean they can't try it. Gets this one down, and he really deadens it. Nice bunt by Avery. Oh, the ball's thrown up the line. Backing up is Burnitz. It gets by him. He does such a good job of backing up. A run's in. And I'll tell you what, they're going to send him. No, they hold him at third base. Avery is held at third. A run is in for the Atlanta Braves. And just like that, what looked like an out, the ball up the line. Dallas Green. We get a few more gray hairs on that one.
But you hit it right in the nose. Ball getting by Burnett because he did such a great job of hustling. Now here's Kelly Stinnett calling Bobby Jones off. Throws the ball in towards the runner. Kent unable to make the play. Now see where Burnett is? He hustled to get there, and the ball got by him. So the ball goes down the right field line. Burnett's chasing that ball. He gets the ball in, and Avery's standing on third base, and there's a run across, and we have a tie ball game. Good hustle by Burnett backing up the play, but because of the hustle, the ball hit the wall, carrying by him.
It's just amazing that you can do your job and it comes back to bite you. That's exactly what happened there. It's tricky, the ball coming off that metallic fence down the line at Shea Stadium, both in left and right. Jeremy Burnett, one of the few right fielders that would have been in that position, was there because of an odd hop. A run in for the Braves. A runner at third, and Roberto Kelly has some terrible hack at that pitch. Met infield in for the most part. Bobby Bonilla not in. Everybody else is. Down in the dirt, Stinnett, a good block. A ball and 2 strikes.
Amazing. You look at this Brave ball club, you're concerned with the McGriff, the Justice, the guys who hit the long ball. But time and again, Mark Lemke gets on first base, and he scores the run, batting in the 8th hole.
That was his 40th run scored from the 8th spot. That's not bad.
Very underrated player from Utica, New York.
1-2 to Kelly. Strike 3 called. Kelly watched that one come in. Bill Hahn says it's on the plate.
I don't know if his back is still bothering him, but that was a weak at bat for Roberto Kelly with a runner on third and only 1 out. Here's the last pitch. He took a good pitch from Bobby Jones. The first game here, Roberto Kelly had to leave the ball game after damaging his lower back. He did not play last night.
And looks like maybe he should not have been out there tonight. Again, a very good pitch on the outside corner by Bobby Jones. Strike one. That was the first strikeout for Jones, and it came at a great time. That runner on third and less than 2 down. Now there are 2 down, and Blauser will try to get the hard base hit. Missed with that pitch. I'd like to remind you that Mets baseball is brought to you by Chemical Bank. Expect more from us. See a single and a walk for Jeff Blauser. Trying to pump him hard inside. It misses. 2 balls, 1 strike. Avery at third. Braves have tied this game up. Soft grounder. Bonilla has it. Long throw. They got it. So Blauser's out, ends the inning. But a run in for the Braves. After 4.5 innings on the Modell scoreboard, we are tied at 1 apiece. Bottom of the 5th inning, tied at 1 apiece. And Francis, maybe in honor of Phil Rizzuto in his election to the Hall of Fame, you should consider doing a few things
Yeah,
here.
nobody does this better than the Scooter, and he's done it for 38 years. I want to say a happy birthday to Clara Carr from Homer, New York.
Also our best to Artie Nickel. So Artie up at the Hall of Fame for all the events.
And by the way, before the ball game, Roll Age presented an award to John Franco for overtaking Dave Righetti as a left-handed closer, the most saves by a left-handed reliever in the history of baseball. And Brian Wu right there from Roll Age presenting the award to John Franco. Ed Farrell Leukemia Society down there along with Jerry Hunsinger. And Roll Age made the announcement tonight that they're going to match John Franco for every save. They will match the amount of money that John Franco is giving to the Leukemia Society. So congratulations to John Franco.
Thompson takes ball 1 from Avery. Swing and a miss makes it 1-1.
By the way, John donates $200 per save this year to the Children's Leukemia Society. So far, he has been able to raise $5,600 himself for leukemia.
Swing and a miss on a fastball by Thompson. The count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Weekend series against the Miami Marlins finish out this homestand. Ooh, that time O'Brien tried to get a call from Bill Hahn. They're having a little conversation about it too. He said, "Don't you be putting that arm up there like that, making me look bad." Thompson, oh, nice play by Pendleton, made it look easy. Pick it clean.
Now, we talked about how Ryan Thompson is struggling with a very low batting average, right over 100 here at home at Shea Stadium. A nice soft hands by Pendleton and a tough play, and he takes a potential base hit away from Thompson. In his first at bat, Thompson hit a ball in the hole between short and third. Blauser gloved it, would never have gotten Thompson at first base, but he had the force play at second base where they got David Segui. So Thompson continues to struggle here at Shea Stadium.
Sometimes you do not really understand why things like that happen. Bobby Jones, another incident where on the road he's 9-2. At home, 4-9. Just, you don't understand why a guy who is a pretty consistent pitcher has not won more games at Shea.
And there are, at times when you're a hitter at certain ballparks in the road, you feel great. And at other ballparks, you feel terrible.
What did Jones say? He was going to go stay in the hotel before the games at home. This time he reaches out and gets a little piece of that pitch. He battled Avery pretty good. He singled to right center his first at bat, scored the only run for the Mets.
When you look at Bobby Jones, you're looking at, we talked about it earlier, a young guy who pitches like he's been in the major leagues for many, many years. no strike on August 12th, this guy could win 18 to 20 ball games.
Well, after all the action that took place today, that does not look very good.
No.
Swing and a miss. Good curveball by Avery. He gets his 3rd strikeout.
Well, tomorrow on Sports Channel, the 69 Amazing Mets pay Rusty Staub a visit on At the Plate. Ed Kranepool, Buddy Harrelson, Ed Charles, and Art Shamsky join Rusty for an hour of great baseball talk. It's At the Plate with Rusty Staub tomorrow night at 10, only on Sports Channel. Great show.
Looking forward to that one. It's going to have to be a lot of fun to see the guys and chat. A little looper into left field. Easy play for Klesko. Sometimes that's a little dangerous to say. Anyway, there are 3 outs in the bottom of the 5th, and on the Sherwin-Williams scoreboard, we're tied at 1.
You're out here, then here, but can't get there. How do you break through the barriers and get closer to the Mets? Simple. Watch the show that takes you inside the Mets. Modell's Inside Pitch. Fridays on Sports Channel.
Well, you're looking at the Sherwin-Williams line score there. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for the Braves. 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error for the Mets. A costly error.
Looking at Steve Avery, pitching a fine ball game tonight along with Bobby Jones. Talked about John Franco before. I asked him if he was at the talks today. He said no. He was at his baseball camp. He has a week-long baseball camp in Bensonhurst. And a lot of the Mets going to be out there this week. Bobby Bowe, Brett Saberhagen, Pete Smith, Todd Hundley, Tim Bogart, Ryan Thompson. So it should be a great camp. Yeah.
Could be.
It's John Franco's camp in Bensonhurst.
Bobby Jones facing Ryan Klesko. Popped up to the infield on the first pitch. Rico Brogna says, I have it. 1 down.
Well, we talked about Klesko earlier. He's a first baseman by trade. Shea Stadium has not been a comfortable place for him first time in on a Saturday afternoon.
He had a rough game, didn't he?
And
Every fly ball was an adventure.
right after that, late in the game, Bobby Cox was replacing him in left field.
Crime Dog at the plate. What a nickname. Who gave him that?
That'd be Chris Berman.
Fred McGriff. Long and deep. Is it fair? Home run. Just like that, Fred McGriff turns on a fastball, and he has number 29.
Oh, he hit one the first night in here, and he goes deep again. Fred McGriff said he became a home run hitter when he spread out at the plate, decided to take a short stride, and he gave all the credit to Cito Gaston, who's now the manager of Toronto. You see that short stride, he gets the head of the bat out there. His head was down on the ball, and the ball traveled about 339 feet. But it's a home run.
It only counts if it's out of the ballpark in fair territory. So Dave Justice, who's 0 for 2, will hit with 1 down. Braves with a 2-1 lead now.
Fred McGriff, one of the more productive hitters for a guy who stands off the plate. You don't see that many guys standing off the plate driving the ball all over the field.
Justice takes strike 1. McGriff needs just 1 more home run to reach the 30 plateau. It would make it 7 consecutive years for Fred McGriff. He would be the 9th player in the history of the game to do that. Jones throws that ball, sneaks it right by Dave Justice.
But he did. He gave all the credit to Cito Gaston, who was the batting instructor with the Toronto Blue Jays. He said he used to lunge a lot, so Cito convinced him to spread those legs out in the stance and take a short stride. He just had a great picture of it.
Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Justice doesn't like it. Second strikeout for Bobby Jones.
Now another good hitter who stands away from the plate, Dave Justice, but right there couldn't reach that outside part of the plate.
And these league leaders are brought to you by the U.S. Postal Service. Home runs, National League. You see the Atlanta Braves, number 1. 125 home runs now, followed by Colorado, San Francisco, and New York. Houston and Cincinnati all tied at 115. Pendleton's the hitter with 2 down.
Barry Bonds hit a home run today.
Ball fouled out of play. He's hit a lot of home runs of late. Had 3 in the game yesterday.
Well, he's on fire. He must like what he's seeing from Mitch Williams, because he's trying to catch him before the 12th.
Two down, nobody on. Top of the 6th. Pendleton trying to go deep.
I said Mitch Williams. Bonds is past Mitch Williams. He's after Matt Williams.
Mitch Williams is in Texas somewhere watching it. Interesting to see if he ever comes back and pitches again in the big leagues. He certainly seemed to have lost interest this year.
Yeah.
No balls and 2 strikes. He's jammed on that pitch. Just kind of rotates the bat around. 4-3 ends the inning, but the home run by McGriff will give the Braves the lead on the Modell scoreboard. They lead the Mets 2-1.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer and by the American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Kelly Stinnett leads off the 6th inning for the Mets. Kelly with a single and an RBI ground out. Hit this one right at the shortstop. Blauser an easy play, 1 down. A quick out. And fans, Mets baseball is brought to you by your local Subaru dealer, who invites you to test drive an all-wheel drive Subaru today.
If you get a chance, get a good look at those Armatron League leaders, because after August 12th, that might be the final.
A lot of controversy out there today about a payment for the pension plan between the owners and the players. Didn't exactly smooth the issues out very much. It didn't seem. Burnitz is 0 for 2. He had a couple of chances in this game. That's all just catching the outside corner. He had a runner at third 2 times with less than 2 outs. Both times he has popped up. Facing the tough left-hander, Avery. Boy, again, right on the outside corner, 0-2. Talked about that Florida Marlins series this weekend. Brett Saberhagen on Friday night will be going for win number 13. Goes after a bad breaking ball, and Jeremy Burnitz this time is struck out. Strikeout number 4 for Avery. Only 1 hit and 10 at bats in this homestand for the young right fielder. Bobby Bowe, 2 groundouts. At least in the last at bat he grounded out. The first time it was a ground out that was a double play. Strike called on the outside corner. Tough for Bonilla to reach that pitch. See that catcher's sitting up. Strike 2. He can't get at that ball.
He's so far away from the plate, but every now and then a pitcher will make a mistake, and Bobby drives it a long way.
Makes him pay. He's going right back out there. This time he reaches out and fouls it straight back.
Well, as a catcher, you'd be foolish not to try to nip the outside part of the plate on Bobby. Obviously, if you make a mistake, we saw him strike out twice in the game in St. Louis. In the same game, hit 2 home runs.
Kind of showing that pitch down and away. A ball and 2 strikes.
I would stay out there, stay out there. If he's going to stay that far away from the plate, you got to find out if he can reach it.
I'm a little maneuver by the catcher, Charlie O'Brien, leaning in and then walking out, trying to decoy Bonilla a little bit in case someone was getting him. Any kind of a sign.
And you're taking a chance trying to go way inside on Bonilla. If you miss, he's so far away from the plate.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good curveball, and Bonilla went to go get it. Couldn't get there. 5th strikeout for Steve Avery. After 6 innings, it's 2-1 Braves.
Fans, let's get ready for the airplane race. Brought to you by New York Newsday. There's a plane for orange for the field level, blue for the load, green for the mezzanine, and red for the...
at Shea Stadium. It's the Braves 2 and the Mets 1.
Travel arranged through U.S. Air, taking off nonstop from LaGuardia to 7 Florida cities, including Orlando and Fort Lauderdale. Nonstop to Florida. U.S. Air begins with you.
Okay, the score 2-1 Braves. Here's Ralph Kiner.
Charlie O'Brien will lead it off for the Braves, and he takes the first pitch for a called strike. O'Brien has walked and grounded back to the pitcher in his 2 appearances, hitting the .255 for the year. And Bobby Jones with a fastball. The count 1 ball and 1 strike. Bobby Jones 11-7 on the year. 2 of his losses to the Atlanta Braves. And trailing in this ball game by a score of 2-1 on 1 run that hurt him was an unearned run in the 5th inning. Goes to the curveball, and O'Brien pulls it foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yankees defeated Milwaukee by a score of 2-1, and the Baltimore Orioles lost their ball game. So the Yankees now leading by 9.
That's the 6th win in a row for the Yanks. Only the team that's been incredibly hot has been Kansas City. They have won 11 in a row. They're tied at 3 with Oakland in the 4th inning.
4 games back.
Yep.
And that fastball, how did he call it a ball? I mean, you can't believe some of the strike zones that these umpires have. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the curveball high, so it's now full count to Charlie O'Brien as he leads off here in the 7th inning. O'Brien with 8 home runs. That's a career high for him.
Bobby Jones that time was a little bit disgusted. He didn't even take the ball back from the catcher when he turned around and walked off the mound.
Now the 3-2 pitch, and he walks it. You talk about how things change in baseball. Umpires calling balls and strikes can change a ball game considerably.
They can put more pressure on the pitcher or more pressure on the hitter. Doesn't mean you can't overcome that pressure.
You can also take the pressure off with a call of a ball rather than a strike. Makes a lot of difference when you're a hitter.
Especially if there's 2 strikes.
So a runner at first base with no one out, and Mark Lemke the batter. Mark 1 for 2 in the game. Mania even with the bag at third in case of a bunt. Pitcher 2 up next. No action in the bullpen. You doubt very much if he'll be bunting here. And he hits away. A chance for the double play. Perfect throw by Jones. The double play. 3rd double play pulled off by the Mets. And he races the base runner.
The Braves have had one in this game. The Mets have had a 4-6-3, a 6-4-3, and a 1-6-3.
So now 2 men out, and Steve Avery will be the batter. Avery 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. Avery with 5 hits and 45 at-bats this year. Had a 4 for 4 day against the New York Mets a couple of years ago. Now he loosed one to short, and Bogar goes in the air to make the play to end the inning. So at the end of 6.5 innings on our Modell scoreboard, it is the Braves 2, the New York Mets 1. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Braves leading by a score of 2-1. The Mets have not had a base runner since the 3rd inning. Steve Avery has retired his last 12 batters since a base hit by Tim Bogar back in the 3rd. This copyrighted telecast is authorized under television rights granted by the New York Mets solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Mets and Sports Channel is prohibited. Jeff Kent will lead it off. Kent is 0 for 2 in the game. Mets have had 4 hits off of Steve Avery, and the Braves have had 5 off of Bobby Jones. Then Avery misses with a fastball. Kent 3 for 10 in the series, hitting .316 here at Shea Stadium. And he hits it deep into center field. Kelly off and running, won't get to it. It'll be off of the wall. Kent easing into second base with a stand-up double. So Kent leads it off with a two-base hit, and the Mets have the potential tying run at second base.
I don't know if Roberto Kelly would have got to the ball anyway, Ralph, but he had kind of a bad start. Either slipped or made a false move. I couldn't tell which. But Kent certainly drilled that ball, and I'll tell you what, to see those line drives now, makes you want to think back if they had that ball back in the days of yesteryear when you were pounding that ball at Kiner's corner.
Well, they talk about the live ball era starting in 1920 with the advent of Babe Ruth hitting home runs. This is the era of the live ball.
I agree.
David Segui, the batter. David with a base hit and 2 at-bats. And he shows bunt, takes it for ball 1. Segui not sacrificing there. He was trying to bunt for a base hit and also get the runner over to third. Pendleton was even with the bag at third. He was not playing the deep third base.
McGriff was charging.
That's with the bottom of the batting order coming up.
Some guys actually prefer to bunt like he did there instead of sacrificing.
This ball hit out to left field. Plesko slips but comes up and makes the play, and Segui is out. Kent back to second base, 1 man out.
There's been a lot of that slipping. The outfield must be wet. You see Klesko out there checking it out. Certain fields, you got to make sure you have new spikes on. You got to have longer spikes on a wet field.
Spoken by a man who used to wear one shoe that had regular steel spikes and the other shoe that had rubber spikes when he played in the Astrodome. And
that's the truth, Ralph. I had torn my hamstring around in third base 2 or 3 times. The ground was so hard there, and once I tore the hamstring, tried to play all the time, it just kept recurring. And the only way I could diffuse it was to run the bases and play the outfield with the rubber-soled shoes. They were the first soccer shoes ever worn.
And Rico Brogna, the batter, takes again in this ball, too. Brogna has struck out the 2 times he has been up, both times on sliders. Prior to today's game, Rico Brogna was honored by MetLife with the MetLife Play of the Month award for July. Rico started 2 double plays against the St. Louis Cardinals during the July 25th game. And he chases the slider and misses 2-1. Rico Brogna was presented with his award by Mr. Vincent Vitiello, Vice President of MetLife, and congratulations to Rico Brogna for winning the MetLife Play of the Month, that award for the month of July. 2 balls, 1 strike to Brogna, and he takes the fastball for a called strike 2. Brogna came into this game with 11-game hitting streak, and right there, Bill Hahn making a pitch that looked out of the strike zone, a called strike.
Well, his strike zone has been all over the place tonight.
It is totally inconsistent. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Steve Avery to Brogna, and he hits it deep to right field. But right there is Justice, and he makes the play. Tagging up at second is Kent. He goes over to third, makes the belly slide, beats the throw, and the Mets have a run at third base with 2 men out.
Brogna just missing that pitch, got it a little bit down on the bat. That breaking ball just enough outside to not allow him to get it right on the screws. Take a look at the swing right here. Pretty good swing, but right on the end of the bat.
So Brogna 0 for 3 in the game. His 11-game hitting streak in jeopardy. And the batter will be Ryan Thompson, who is 0 for 2.
Bobby Bonilla talking to Brogna. Little veteran's advice.
Thompson has grounded into a fourth play and also grounded out to third. And he takes the first pitch for ball 1. Thompson hitless in this series, 0 for 8. Chance to tie it up for the New York Mets, and he takes again this one outside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Mets have really had problems with the Braves. In the last 24 games, the Braves have won 19 of them. Goes after a bad pitch, grounds it to third base. Pendleton's throw to first in plenty of time. That ends the inning. So the Mets get a leadoff double, the runner left on base, and the score at the end of 7. On our Sherwood-Williams scoreboard, it is the Braves 2 and the New York Mets 1.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you in part by Priority Mail from the United States Postal Service. We deliver for you. And by MetLife. These health and safety messages are brought to you by MetLife.
Roberto Kelly will lead it off here in the top of the 8th. The Braves leading 2-1. Bobby Jones starts him off with a curveball and gets a called strike. Kelly in this game 0 for 3. Robbed of a base hit back in the 3rd, and a fine catch by Ryan Thompson. Struck out his last time up. And Jones missing outside for ball 1. Braves have had 2 runs in this game, one of them unearned. And Bobby Jones is the king of unearned runs. Mets have not fielded well behind him. He has given up a lot of unearned runs.
I guess you could see he hasn't actually been the one giving them up. He just gets credit for them.
That's right. He gets charged for them. He has had 19 unearned runs scored while he has been on the mound. And this one grounded to third, backhanded nicely by Bonilla. The throw over perfectly. And Bonilla takes the throw for the out.
Bonilla showing that strong arm on that play.
That'll bring up Jeff Blauser. Jones came into this game having won his last 4 decisions. And he has taken shutouts into the 7th inning in 8 of his game starts. He has pitched exceptionally well for the New York Mets. Tied for 6th in wins. And he starts off Blauser with a curveball. And it's called ball 1. Blauser 1 for 2 and a walk in the game. And Jones back with a fastball. Blauser way out in front, pulls it way out of play down the left field side. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Jones will be, at best, this will be his last inning. If he gets him out, he will lead off the next inning offensively, so there will be a pinch hitter. That is why Eric Gunderson is warming in the bullpen now for New York.
1 ball, 1 strike, and this one topped to the shortstop side. Bogart, tough play, and he gets it there in time. Bogart had to take that extra couple of steps as he had trouble getting that ball out of his glove.
He had reached so far down, he kind of lost the stride and barely gets him.
So 2 men away here in the 8th inning, and Ryan Klesko will be the batter. He's been robbed twice of hard smash hits to the second baseman Kent. Kent with 2 brilliant plays on him, and then his last time up on the first pitch he popped to first. And the first pitch, a fastball fouled away.
He's another guy that likes to stand away from the plate. He does move into the plate a little bit as the ball comes to home plate. Likes to extend those arms. And big ones they are.
He has some power, 17 home runs, a .281 batting average. And that fastball just missing in the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. Braves leading 2-1, both sides with 5 hits. The Braves difference, an unearned run. And the slider is fought off and fouled back into the stands on the third base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That was almost like a 2-strike swing that Klesko took right there. You see Fred McGriff in the on-deck circle. Jones got in on him, and he tried to hit it anyway, like he was protecting the plate.
Montreal leading in their ball game against St. Louis 6-0. If Montreal wins, the Braves have to win to stay. 4.5 games behind Montreal. Montreal has won 5 in a row, and that pitch a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Braves have a little bit of luxury going for them. They are in the playoffs at this point in the season, as they are the wild card team with the best record, not leading in a division. They're 3.5 games up on the Houston Astros. Curveball slips out of his hand, and it hangs high in the count 3-2. Cleveland, the wild card team in the American League, with the Yankees, Chicago, and Texas leading their divisions. Brand new type of baseball with 3 divisions in each league. 3-2 pitch, and the slider pulled foul as Klesko goes after the pitch off of the plate. The jury's still out, I guess, Rusty, on whether 3 divisions in each league is going to be the answer with a wild card team.
I think it's exciting for the fans. I think it's good for ownership. It's good for the players. Those 3 people like it. Why worry about a few purists?
Another one pulled foul. Well, the other answer to it is that what else could they do with 28 teams playing baseball?
And there'll be 30 in the next few years.
Phoenix, pretty good chance.
Well, we may see the movement of some franchises with all this stuff going on right now in baseball.
19 teams claiming they're losing money. Claiming is a very important word in that statement. Here's a 3-2 pitch, and it's ball 4. So Klesko walks in front of Fred McGriff. McGriff 2 for 3 in the game. It was his home run in the 6th inning to put the Braves ahead 2-1, his 29th home run of the year.
And there will be a pinch runner for Klesko.
Gallagher?
Should be. Yep, Dave Gallagher.
Dave Gallagher. So Gallagher will be the pinch runner, and he'll stay in the ball game, taking over in left field as time is called. Pavlik, the pitching coach for the Mets, out to the mound as they get set to pitch to Fred McGriff.
Gallagher not really a base running threat so much. He's 0 for 2 in the times that he's attempted this year, but he is the defensive replacement for Klesko. A lot of times they use Carrasco in that same situation. But I think he wants to keep Carrasco's bat alive and ready in case he needs it.
Fine pinch hitter for the Atlanta Braves. Braves leading just by 1, leading 2-1 as McGriff steps in. McGriff with 2 home runs in the 3 games of this series, and his first pitch is taken low for ball 1. $50 of McGriff's 83 runs batted in have come as a result of a home run. 1-0 pitch, and he's out in front of the changeup, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
McGriff came into action today hitting .387 against the Mets this year. In the opposite vein, David Justice in the on-deck circle right now only has 6 hits and 31 at-bats against the Mets. That's less than 200.
1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at first base, and a good slider there. 1 and 2. That ball had some bite on it.
There's Jones right over the top. Good hook.
I'd say it's a curveball, yeah, not a slider. Good bite on that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gallagher short lead at first base. Griff hitting .308. And Jones misses with a fastball just outside, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Wasn't it Frank Howard, when they threw a dandy like that, used to call it the Lord Charles? I don't know how he and where he got that one from, but that's one of Hondo's big comments.
58 years old today, Frank Howard. Happy birthday.
You got it.
2-2, and the fastball hit off to the left side, foul, so the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. League leaders in home runs: Matt Williams 41, Bagwell 37, Bonds 36, Gallagher 31, McGriff 29. Two balls, 2 strikes. Jones in his last half inning of work, and he gets him with a slider. So Bobby Jones, a brilliant 8 innings, and he will leave the ball game for a pinch hitter in the inning. A walk and 1 left. And on the Modell scoreboard at the end of 7.5 innings, it's the Braves 2 and the Mets 1. Fans of Mets Wise will host an outdoor sports auction, and that'll be this Saturday, August the 6th at 5:30 p.m. outside of Shea's Future Mets Gate. Items from the 1994 Mets, other Major League Baseball teams, and even the 69 Mets will be up for bid, with proceeds going to the Leukemia Society. So here's your chance to own a Jeff Kent or Bobby Bonilla jersey, a Barry Bonds baseball, or a Cecil Fielder bat. That's the Mets Wise Outdoor Sports Auction at Shea this Saturday, August 6th, starting at 5:30 p.m.
Jim Lindeman will be the pinch hitter for New York.
So Lindeman the pinch hit for Bobby Jones, and he takes a fastball for a called strike.
Lindeman 4 hits and 13 at bats with an RBI off the bench. And you see Gallagher in the outfield.
Gallagher in left field, as he was a pinch runner for Klesko, who was in left field. Lindeman at .272 for the year, 5 home runs, 18 runs batted in. And the curveball again, a borderline pitch called a strike for strike 2. Two strikes to count on Lindeman. The Mets need 1 to tie. Batting in the bottom of the 8th inning, and this one hit hard, but right at Blauser, the shortstop. So Lindeman a hard out for the first out here in the 8th inning. Fans, if you come to Shea early this Sunday, instead of batting practice, you'll see the Mets play their kids in the Family Day softball game starting at noon. That'll bring up Tim Bogar. Bogar 1 for 2 in the game, also has a walk. Stanton throwing in the bullpen, the left-hander, and Waller's the right-hander, as the Braves think about their bullpen with Avery working with 1 man out here in the 8th inning. Avery has had only 1 complete game this year. 1 ball, no strikes to Bogar, and the fastball off to the left side and down the left field line. Gallagher quickly gets to it, gets it back in, and Bogar with his 2nd into the game, and he has put the Mets in the position to have the potential time run at first base with 1 man out in the 8th inning.
Gallagher really playing in the pull, but at third base, Pendleton was off the line. Unusual setup.
Mets now about hit the Braves 6-5 with Bogart's 2nd hit, and that'll bring up Kelly Stinnett. Stinnett with a base hit and 3 at-bats drove in the Mets run back in the 3rd inning with a ground ball.
And Kelly wanting to redeem himself because it was his error that gave the Braves their 2nd run.
He has driven in 1, and he has let 1 in as the throw goes over to first base. Bogar, the runner at first base, with 1 stolen base and 1 attempt. And as we told you earlier, Avery has a great move to first base. He led the National League in pickoffs last year with 15. And the pitch to Stinnett, a call strike for strike 1. Another borderline pitch.
Well, I tell you, borderline is getting bigger and bigger.
The border into Mexico is smaller than that.
They talk about hitting the black. There's a lot of mud out there today, baby.
Boy. 1 ball, 1 strike as Avery tries again. And it's hit in the air to right field. Justice, an easy chance. And it's 2 men out.
The only thing you can do when you're a hitter is try to be as aggressive as you can be for 2 strikes, and then you've just got to protect the plate.
That'll bring up Jeremy Burnett, who is 0 for 3. Last time up, he was struck out on 3 pitches.
Well, he had a rough night.
He's had a rough series, 1 for 10 with 4 strikeouts. Batting at .220 in the year. And a chance now with the Mets trailing by 1 to do something big for the Mets. He almost goes after that one. It's in the dirt. And Bogar goes down to 2nd on a wild pitch. So a break for the Mets on the wild pitch. The 5th wild pitch by Avery this year, and it puts a runner in scoring position with 2 men away here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
So a balk and a wild pitch in this game by Avery. Both times. One time the balk eventually got the Mets to score their first run. Now a runner in scoring position with the possibility of scoring now with 2 down.
Balk giving the Mets a run as they would not have scored without it. And the curveball hit deep down the right field line, but way foul. So the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Burnett's way out in front of that pitch. And time is called by Burnitz, and the umpire behind home plate, Bill Hahn, gives it to him. The umpire does not have to give timeout to the batter. If the pitcher requests a new ball, he has to give him a new ball. The batter can't get a new ball unless the umpire wants to give it to him. And the 1-1 pitch. Fastball way high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Burnett, since he has been brought back up to the major leagues, with 12 hits and 45 at-bats. The 2-1 delivery, way high for ball 3. The on-deck batter, Bobby Bonilla. So Avery behind 3-1 to Jeremy Burnett. The potential time run at second base. Bonilla on deck. And 2 men out in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Will he challenge with a fastball is the question.
And the pitch, he goes to the breaking ball, and Burnett's over the top of it, and that fills out the count.
Just have a good pitcher out on the mound. They do not concede very often. You got to sit on a pitch, and if you don't get it, take it. That time Jeremy committed to just letting it fly.
3 balls, 2 strikes. And it's ball 4.
And I'll tell you what, that pitch has been called a strike a few times tonight.
Very, very close pitch. Called ball 4, and that'll bring up Bobby Bonilla. And it also brings out Bobby Cox, the manager of the Atlanta Braves.
Second walk in the game. Bobby Cox does not go out very often and leave the pitcher in, but it does happen from time to time. Talking to Avery.
Looks like he's going to leave him in.
Looks like it. Yep. You got to know your pitchers. I mean, one of the things I've always felt is that as you watch this pitch, that's going to be awfully close. Watch the catcher's glove. Just a little bit.
I think the ball was outside. O'Brien did.
Well, a lot of them have been out.
Boxing in. A lot of those have been called strikes. So Bobby Bonilla in the position the Mets want him in, a chance to tie the game or put the Mets up. And his first pitch is hit back to the middle. It'll be easily handled by Lemke, and that will end the inning. So the Mets threaten and don't score as Bonilla grounds out for the final out in the 8th. And on the Modell scoreboard as they go to the 9th inning, the Braves 2 and the Mets 1.
Roger Mason will take the mound with the Mets trailing by 1. A 2-5 record for Roger Mason. He also has a 4.02 earned run average. He does not have a save. In 53 2/3 innings, he has given up 51 hits, walked 25, and struck out 28. Roger Mason.
His last save was back in 1992 in September. He's allowed just 4 earned runs in his last 12 appearances, which is not really good pitching for a relief pitcher. Contract purchase from the Philadelphia Philly organization, and his first batter is Dave Justice. He starts him off with a breaking ball and gets a strike. Justice 0 for 3 in this game and 1 for 9 in this series. Now hitting the .317. Mason back and missing for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bobby Jones, a brilliant job. giving up 2 runs, 1 of them earned, allowing just 5 hits, striking out 3 and walking 3, but on the losing side of this game. And the slider is striking. It's 1-2.
Justice, although he has 10 lifetime home runs against the Mets, has really struggled this year, hitting under 200 against his ball club. You can imagine if he handled the Mets like he has everybody else, where his batting average would be.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And Mason strikes him out.
There's that pitch, Ralph.
That's the one that Bill Hahn has been calling a strike, and he called it again as Justice is struck out and goes back to the bench.
Third base, Terry Pendleton.
See the catcher's glove. Little lean out there. Strike 3. He can't be taken. That's a frustration.
Roger Mason striking out his first batter, and it'll bring up Terry Pendleton, who is 1 for 3 tonight. A double back in the 2nd inning. And the slider a called strike. Paid crowd tonight, 24,519. Pendleton at .249 for the year, 6 home runs. Only 24 runs batted in. And that pitch a ball, so it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Pendleton, in his first year with the Atlanta Braves, the MVP in the National League. They caught lightning in a bottle when they got him out of the St. Louis Cardinal organization, and he fouls the fastball. They count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pendleton, his first year with the Braves, leading the National League in hitting. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball for ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cincinnati defeated the Giants 17-4 today.
They just killed them.
Cincinnati leading by 3.5 over Houston at the start of the action today, winning their 6th in a row, and the Giants 2 games back of the Dodgers, and losing will now be at least 2.5 back. Dodgers play at home against San Diego. They could be 3 games back. San Diego with the worst record in the major league. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled off, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Montreal with the best record in baseball, leading their ball game by a score of 7-0. They have won 67 games, lost just 38 on the way to their 6th win in a row. They have been some sort of a ball club. Roger Mason with the 2-2 pitch, and the slider hit in the air to right center field. It's playable. Thompson makes the catch 2 men away. Listen to WCBS FM 101.1, New York's oldie station, tomorrow morning at 6:45 during the Sports Report with Phil Pepe. You'll have a chance to play Mets trivia, and you can win 4 tickets to an upcoming Mets game. So 2 men out, and Charlie O'Brien the batter. O'Brien has walked twice. He also has grounded out to the pitcher. Batting .254 for the year. Swings right through the fastball. It's strike 1. Atlanta had a mediocre July. They won 14 and lost 14. It ended an 8 consecutive winning months record that they had stacked up. Good off-speed pitch, and it's strike 2.
And that's a pitch that Mason does not use a lot. You should consider that was very effective.
Ryan way out in front of the changeup. And Mason ahead in the count, 2 strikes. And O'Brien misses it. It gets away from Stinnett. His throw to first base is accurate in time, and that ends the inning. That'll be recorded as a strikeout. 2 for Mason in the inning. A 1-2-3 inning on the Modell scoreboard. As we go to the top, make it the bottom of the 9th inning. The Braves 2 and the Mets 1.
Well, you're looking at Greg McMichaels warming for Atlanta. He will go after his 21st save here. Bottom of the 9th inning. Mets trailing by 1. A 3-5 record for Greg McMichael. 3.79 earned run average. 54 2/3 innings pitched. Giving up a lot of hits. 61. 17 is a lot of walks. And 46 strikeouts.
His last time out was Saturday, and he had his 9th blown save in taking the loss to the Philadelphia Phillies. And the Mets will have Jeff Kent to lead it off. Kent 1 for 3 tonight. Mets have come back to win 19 times this season. And McMichael's first pitch is ball 1. McMichael,
go ahead, Ralph.
I was going to say, has allowed only 1 home run this season. And the split finger fastball swung on a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
There's one thing that the New York Mets and Dallas Green has to be proud of is the way this young club has kept battling. They have come back a lot in the latter part of the game. Have never made it easy in the 9th inning for the opposition. They made it fun to watch.
And the Mets hoping to come back here tonight. They're trailing 2-1 as they bat in the 9th inning. And that's ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kent doubled his last time up over the head of the center fielder, Roberto Kelly. And it's ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike as McMichael misses with the breaking ball.
I'll tell you about those walks when we went over his stats. That's been one of the areas that has really hurt McMichael.
And at 3-1, the pitch to Kent. Ball 4, and that was really a wild pitch. Under the gun. So the Mets have a potential time run at first base with no one out, and the batter coming up, David Segui.
And Mazzoni on the phone. We'll probably see somebody bounce up on that rubber out in the outfield.
McMichael pitching to David Segui, replacing Steve Avery after Avery pitched 8 strong innings.
That is Mike Stanton. He has already thrown. He's pretty loose already. It won't take him but a few pitches.
With this humidity, he can warm up by combing his hair. Runner going with a pitch. It's grounded through the hole into right field. It'll be a base hit. And Kent on his way to third. The hit and run play executed perfectly, and the Mets now have the tying run at third base.
And it's just like that. Good job by Segui. Did exactly what you got to do. You got to make contact, put it on the ground. They're going to pinch run for Segui. He's got that hamstring that was injured. He has not been running well since that time. And we'll see in a second. It looks like it's Fernando Vina who will get the pinch run call.
Vina will represent the winning run as he takes over at first base, replacing David Segui. The time run at third base with no one out. Bottom of the 9th inning, and the batter is Rico Brogna, who has been the Mets hitting sensation in the month of July and into the month of August.
There's a chance to extend that hitting streak too, Ralph.
Came into this game with 11-game hitting streak. He is 0 for 3. And under the gun here is Brogna, and he swings and misses.
Well, this is a time where you really got to make some contact. Even a double play ball ties the game. You can't allow yourself to strike out in this situation.
Hence the time run at third base. 1 strike count to Brogna. batting .333 with runners in scoring position, and he grounds it foul, and he falls behind with a 2-strike count.
This is a time where you've got to shorten your swing and make some contact.
Bronya hitting .376 with 7 home runs, 18 runs batted in last night's ball game, a 2-run home run in the 8th inning, batting here in the 9th, and a chance to do some more damage. And he hits it hard, up the middle, a base hit, the Mets tie the ball game. Vina ropes down to second base. He is the winning run at second as Bronya extends his hitting streak to 12 consecutive games. A big base hit.
And these fans love it. We talked about it at the beginning of the inning. They just don't quit. It's the great thing about this club. They keep coming. Can't get it congratulated for starting it off. He walked. McMichaels got himself in trouble with a leadoff walk, and he's out of this ball game. We are going to see Mike Stanton. Ryan Thompson will be the hitter.
And he will be hitting with no one out. We'll see whether or not he'll be bunting in this spot. So this call to the bullpen is sponsored by MCI Long Distance.
Well, with Rico Bronya standing at first base, having tied this ball game up, but it's not Mike Stanton. It's Wohlers coming into the ball game. Mark Wohlers. He's a big right-hander, throws the ball around 100 miles an hour. You see his record 7-2, 4.17 earned run average. 49 2/3 innings. He's given up 47 hits. You see the 31 walks. He has trouble with control also. But the 56 strikeouts a big factor.
Over a strikeout per inning, and as Rusty pointed out, he can throw it near 100 miles an hour.
He can also throw it in the dirt, too.
Mets have the winning run at second base, no one out. The batter is Ryan Thompson, and the question is here whether Thompson will be bunting or hitting away. Thompson, of course, a big strikeout man. He has struck out 87 times. So Wohlers in the ballgame, and his job to hold the Mets in this 2-2 tie. Alice Green looking at his club that has come back to tie it here in the 9th inning and hoping to win it.
Well, the Mets have to get somebody in the on-deck circle in case they have to give the base runner some assistance at the plate. Franco has been warming in the bullpen. He's ready.
Pitcher due up next.
Yeah, well, looks like Bogar is going to stand up there. That's not exactly according to the rules.
That is against the rules. And Wohlers from the set position. They're looking for the bunt, and it's bunted, but bunted foul. So Ryan Thompson with a 1-strike count.
I'll tell you what, McGriff is so far in, and Lemke is charging first base so hard. If you just put the ball in play, it just really messes up that whole rotation play.
Thompson has sacrificed successfully twice this year.
And I'll tell you what, this guy is tough to bunt against. Wohlers. His ball moves all over the place.
Hardest pitch to bunt is a hard fastball, especially up around the letters. Tennessee is to bunt it in the air, and that's the last thing the Mets want to see. Again, they put the pressure on. Thompson squares, takes high, and it's ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I mean, McGriff is right down his throat.
Fernando Vina is the runner at second base. He represents the winning run in this game. And it's Mike Covey sending the signs in.
There's the pickoff play at second where they start the rotation play and have the second baseman cover. You can't bounce when you're the base runner on that play. The key for the hitter, if he wants to do the Butcher Boy play, and they see they're trying to make sure there's no mistakes here. They're all getting together and talking about it. But if the hitter wants to look at the shortstop, if the shortstop takes off for third base, if there's a ball going to be delivered to the plate, then the rotation play is on. You should not bunt into that.
Under normal conditions, you try to make the third base field the ball, but with the rotation play, the third baseman charges, the shortstop covers third. And they fake it, and it's bunted out perfectly. That'll advance the runners, and Thompson does a fine job as they get the winning runner over to third base. Excellent bunt by Ryan Thompson.
Boy, you won't see that in the box score, but that is a great job off a tough guy to bunt on. Lots of congratulations, and rightly so. He turns, bat out in front, got to absorb it, and he does just that. Deadens the ball, only one play for Wohlers to first.
And that will bring up the pinch hitter, Joe Orsulak, and they're going to walk him intentionally. Orsulak, the pinch hitter, and that's ball one. Orsulak hitting .263 for the year, 8 home runs. They're going to walk him to set up the chance for the force play at any base or the double play, and that's ball two. That will put Tim Bogar up as the next hitter.
Hundley coming out in the on-deck circle to hit for Bogar.
Bogar back to the bench, and it will be Todd Hundley as the pinch hitter as it appears right now, and that's ball three. There's Todd. That is he on deck.
The infield will have to challenge in, and the outfield will have to come way in to make sure that any kind of a line drive at them, they can still get the runner at home plate. In center field, Roberto Kelly started walking back. Now they're shifting him over, but he's still pretty deep.
Now batting for Tim
I can't
Bogar,
believe how deep he's playing.
number 9,
Got
Todd
to play
Hundley.
in a position in the outfield here where you can throw the runner out coming in from third.
There's a line drive right through the box, one hop. You got to be able to throw the runner out at the plate. If he can do that from there, he's a better man than I am.
So it'll be Todd Hundley as the pinch hitter. Hundley hitting .240 in the year with 16 home runs, 42 runs batted in. He's 4 for 13 as a pinch hitter with a home run and 3 runs batted in.
David Justice pretty deep in right. This is weird.
Justice is very deep in right. The left fielder Gallagher is in a good position. The center fielder Kelly is in a good position. Justice is deep. Infield is in for a play at the plate. And the bases are loaded with one man out. Bottom of the ninth inning, the Mets need a run to win. And the fastball swung on and missed.
Again, the harder the guy throws, the least strength-wise you have to swing. The ideal is not to swing it as strong as you can, but be quick with your hands. Get the bat head through the strike zone, because the ball is going to be coming so fast that you don't really have to generate a lot of speed. You got to make contact.
Have to make contact here. Pena, the runner at third. The pitch is fouled back out of play, and Wohlers out in front with a 2-strike count. This inning started off with McMichael on the mound. He walked Jeff Kent on a 3-1 pitch. David Segui on the next pitch, a hit-and-run play, single to right to put runners at first and third. Bronier with a 2-strike count, single to center field to tie the ball game. And then the sacrifice by Thompson, the walk to Ursulak to load up the bases, and now a 2-strike count to Todd Hundley. And Wohlers inside, just missing, almost hitting Hundley, who stands very close to the plate. That ball just did miss his back leg. Of course, a hit batter here would give the Mets a victory. All kinds of ways for the Mets to win this game with one out, the bottom of the ninth inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hundley. And he fouls it. Just gets a piece of it to stay alive as he chases a pitch that's impossible to hit. Way out of the strike zone, and he was lucky to get a piece of it.
You are absolutely correct. Again, he took a pretty good hack at this pitch. This is not what you call a let's make contact. It's a pretty good swing. You see how much he's coming off the ball. You really, you just have to make adjustments mentally. You can't let this guy strike you out in this situation.
Then you're trying to jockey a third to cause a balk. Wohlers doesn't fall for that. And his next pitch is swung on and missed. And Hundley is struck out. And that'll leave it up to Kelly Stinnett and or pinch hitter. So the big strikeout as Hundley fails to make contact. And the Mets now have 2 men away with the bases loaded in this tie ball game at 2.
Nobody has run up to the on-deck circle yet. But it looks like this guy, Ano, is going to get the call. Kelly Stinnett talking to him, looking for his batting helmet. I don't think Vizcaino felt he was going to get called on here, Ralph.
Vizcaino has not played in the last 2 ball games as a starting shortstop. He's hitting .258 in the year with 3 home runs, 31 runs batted in. He has 1 at bat as a pinch hitter this year, and he has not had a base hit. 0 for 1.
Always felt in a situation, if you have a contact hitter, better to put him in a situation where there's 1 out with 2 outs. The free swinger might be more appropriate. But either way, people have to make adjustments no matter what type of a hitter you are. There are common sense things in baseball that you have to put in your mind. You know Wohlers has to stay with a fastball. If he got beat on an off-speed pitch, they would kill him in the dugout, so you're going to get the fastball. You know it.
Conley striking out for the 68th time this year in 267 at-bats. A strikeout ratio that's extremely high. Now Vizcaino, the batter. And it will take a base hit or an error to win this ball game for the New York Mets, and the fastball are called strike. Strike to count. Bowler's back again, and it's lined over the shortstop's head, and the Mets win it. Jose Vizcaino drives in the winning run, and the Mets win it with 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning by a score of 3-2.
A happy crew, and they have earned it. Ball still sitting out there in the outfield. What a deflating loss for the Braves. Looking up on that scoreboard, they see the Montreal Expos in the 8th inning. 8-1 over St. Louis. Disappointed Bobby Cox going in the dugout down the walkway.
The Mets with their 20th come from behind victory and winning the game by the score of 3-2. They won the series 2-1, and Vizcaino drives in the winning run as he hangs in there and drives a line shot over the head of the shortstop Blauser, and the winning run scores as Vigna comes in from third base. So once again, the final score, it's the Mets 3 and the Atlanta Braves 2, and we'll be back with a wrap right after these messages. Well, the New York Mets come from behind with 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning to win it by a score of 3-2. An exciting ball game. The winning pitcher in the ball game, Roger Mason, who worked the final inning, working a 1-2-3 inning. The losing pitcher was McMichael, who came in relief of Steve Avery, with the Braves leading by a score of 2-1, and McMichael the losing pitch in the game. Well, the Mets have done it again, Rusty. It has been that kind of a season. The Mets changing and turning around totally from last year when they were behind the ball games. They totally had no chance at all. This year, they have fought back for the 20th time to win a ball game and a comeback victory.
You can't say enough about what the Mets have done. It's exciting not only for the fans, exciting for anybody that wants to watch baseball. To do a game with 2 clubs battling out, you know there's no end to it till there is really. What did Yogi say? It ain't over till it's over.
Till it's over.
Well, the Mets have made it that exciting this year, and this was a terrific ball game to show the kind of spunk that they've had most of this season against one of the better ball clubs in baseball. A comeback. McMichael's blowing his 10th save opportunity this year, and he started off with a walk, and that's what really got him in terrible trouble, leading off the last inning with a walk.
And then an interesting play. The next batter was Segui, and in a bunting situation, Dallas Green crossed everybody up, and the Mets executed perfectly, and that set up a chance to win the ball game.
It did. It's going to be our Budweiser play of the game. As Ralph said, bunting situation, and here comes the hit and run. See the runner going. He hits it right in the hole. Kent gets to third base. That set up the rest of the inning. That's our Budweiser play of the game, and a great job by Segui. And good thinking by Dallas Green.
Surprising everybody, but Dallas doing a fantastic job with the New York Mets this year, and he has a ball club that really can't steal any bases, so what do? You use the hit and run play.
Very true, and Bobby Jones, a good 8 innings again. Just another superlative performance by the young man. He did not get the win. Roger Mason got the win, but a fine job by Bobby Jones. But our player of the game, I don't think there's any question.
2 men out, bases loaded. The Mets need a base hit to win. Who is he?
The GMC player of the game, Jose Vizcaino. Took the first pitch out over the plate for strike 1, and then he slaps a line drive over the shortstop's head. Vina scores. Mets win 3-2. That's the GMC player of the game, Jose Vizcaino. Ralph and I will be back after these messages.
New York Mets baseball has been brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By your local Sherwin-Williams paint store. The pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams, an official sponsor of Major League Baseball. By Nobody Beats the Wiz. For state-of-the-art home electronics, computers, cameras, music, movies, and more, nobody beats the Wiz. By MCI. And by Chemical Bank. Expect more from us.
Well, the Mets win it by a score of 3-2, and one of the things about baseball is that when a player ties a ball game in the 9th inning, he seldom gets credit for being the hero of the ball game if that team goes on to win. We'd like to mention that Rico Brogna was the man who got the base hit that tied up the ball game. He continues his great hot hand for the New York Mets. Once again, the final score, the Mets 3 and the Atlanta Braves 2, and we invite you to stay tuned for Fran Healy. Coming up next on Mets Extra Inning, his special guest, Rico Brogna.
This has been a presentation of Sports Channel, a tradition of excellence and innovation in regional sports television.
Welcome back to Shea Stadium. I'm Fran Healy. You're watching Extra Inning. The Mets victorious in the 9th inning tonight against the tough Atlanta Braves. The Mets winning the series, 2 of 3 from the Braves. And, of course, the Marlins will come in Friday night for a 3-game series. But one of the stars, and the Mets had a few stars in tonight's ballgame, he's been doing it ever since he was recalled from the minor leagues. And Rico Brogna, a big hit in tonight's ballgame. You're on fire with the bat. You're really living the dream of a young little leaguer. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, it's something you think of growing up. You don't know if it's ever going to come true, but you work and work, and get an opportunity like the Mets have given me so far this year is a dream. And at the same time, I realize there is a job to do, and when we win games like tonight, it makes it all real special.
Chris Chambliss told me when we were in St. Louis, Chambliss, now as you see that big hit off the bat of Rico Brogna, Chris Chambliss told me that the one thing that the Tigers did that hurt you, they try to convince you to pull the ball because it's Tiger Stadium. He said even back in the minor leagues, they were talking to you about pulling the ball. How did you change that mindset when you came to the Mets?
Well, I really did go through a period where I was just trying to pull the ball and learn how to do that, and it wasn't really natural for me. My natural stroke is more or less to left field, and I was trying to do something I don't think I was capable of doing at that time. But more or less going through periods of failure convinced me to try to just go back to the way that was successful before, and trying and never really succeeding at it. It just got to the point where I said, well, enough of that. I got to go back to the old way.
You've been on, I guess, in such a short period since coming out of high school in Watertown, Connecticut, a emotional escalator. #1 draft pick. Has to have you sky high. Then you can't get through the Tiger system. Traded away. Even though you came to New York, had to be kind of a slap to Rico Brogna. Back to the major leagues and doing a job with the Mets. Was it that tough, the escalator?
Yeah, it was at times, no doubt. There were ups and downs, and I think you feel more of the downs. They press on you a little harder than the ups do because you expect or you hope to play well. But when you go through tough times, it's not that easy. But I think the key for me was just trying to get through those times and learn from them and figure out a way to get through those. And once you do, you're going to be all right. But it was all a great learning experience. Sure, I would have liked to stay with the same team, but it couldn't have worked out better. I'm thrilled to play here in New York.
tough left-hander tonight starting for the Braves. Tell us what went through your mind at the start of tonight's game, and we'll try to show that base hit again, and what was going through your mind prior to the at-bat.
Well, I was talking with Mac before the game, Tommy, our hitting coach, and he was saying, you know, you got to stay back and try to drive the ball to left field because he has a good breaking ball. And as much as I concentrated on that, his breaking ball was too good. I couldn't lay off of it and had trouble. And then there's the fastball. I guess McMichael threw me, and staying with that same approach, just trying to stay back and drive the ball the other way. Fortunately, got a pitch I could do it with.
What do all the people in Watertown think about all this?
Well, I'll find out tomorrow. I'll get an off day and we're going home. And I heard they're real excited. And I'm happy for them because I have a lot of close friends there. So.
Well, do you ever go to Mulberry Street here in New York in Little Italy?
I'm sure I will. I'm sure I'll try to hit some restaurants over there.
Rico, it's great talking to you, and
Thanks.
Congratulations again. And the Mets playing some good baseball. 12-game hitting streak, and I'll say hitting streak for Rico Brogna. Stay with us. When we come back, we're going to show you that base hit all over again. Back here at Shea Stadium, you're watching Extra Inning. Once again, I'm Fran Healy. It was an exciting ball game. If you missed it tonight, where were you? Because you missed it, we're going to show you the highlights. So let's take a look. The Mets victorious in tonight's ball game. It was a beautiful night here at Shea for the rubber game between the Mets and the Braves. The Mets touched Steve Avery for a run in the bottom of the third as Kelly Sinet drives in Bobby Jones, and the Mets had a 1-0 lead. But in the top of the fifth, the Braves tied it up as Steve Avery bunts the ball. Kelly Sinet throws the ball away, and then the ball goes down the right field line. Jeremy Burnett, who hustled in to back up the play, and the ball gets by him, rolls all the way to the right field fence. Mark Lemke scored. It was all tied at 1. The Braves took the lead in the sixth as Fred McGriff blasted 29th home run of the season just inside the right field foul line, and it was 2-1 the Braves at that time. But the Mets wouldn't quit in the ninth. Rico Brogna singles the driving Jeff Kemp with the tying run, and it was all tied at 2. An exciting ball game. Dallas Green with this ball club playing very, very well. Then with the bases loaded, pinch hitter Jose Vizcaino drives in the winning run, and the Mets win the ball game 3-2 over the Atlanta Braves. Jose Vizcaino driving in the winning run in this ball game, and a happy New York Met ball club. Once again, congratulations to Dallas Green and the Mets with this victory over the Braves, winning this series 2 out of 3 from the Braves.